Namaste friends, and welcome to this practice. We'll begin by taking a few conscious breaths. You can sit however that is comfortably for you. And you might like to place one hand on the chest, one hand on the lower belly. It might feel right for you to close down the eyes as well. And start to feel that soft belly receiving each and every breath. Allow the chest to settle into a gentle stillness, dropping the mind down into the belly, into the rhythm of the breath, moving into your body and out from your body. Making a conscious choice to arrive here for your practice in this moment, and allowing it to unfold just as it needs to for you. Find yourself on your hands and knees, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Curl the toes under, and as you breathe in, imagine that breath moving from the navel to the center of the chest as you look up and lift the sit bones. And as you exhale, tucking the chin and the tail under, rounding through the spine. And just twice more like this, breathing in and allowing the breath to move your body. And as you exhale, pressing into the hands, the fingertips, and creating space between the shoulder blades. The breath moves in through the nose and out through the nose. As you scoop the chest up, lifting the sit bones, go on and press all the way back up into your downward facing dog. Finding a moment of stillness here as you feel the spine lengthen up and back. There might be a bend through the knees, a little or a lot, and just feeling the heels wanting to touch down as the backs of the legs begin to open. As you take your next inhale, move forward into your plank, or it might be a half plank. As you exhale, slowly lower all the way down to your mat. Finding Shalabhasana, taking the arms back behind you, inhaling and rising up. Maybe just 60% of the effort to begin with. And as you exhale, touch back down. Inhale, finding a bit more effort as you lift up, activate through the back body. And exhale, reconnecting with the earth. And just once more, breathing in, a little bend through the elbows and knees. And exhale, touching all the way down. As you bring the hands under the shoulders, curl the toes under, engage the core, lift all the way up through hands and knees, and back into downward facing dog as you exhale. Feeling the back body open. Imagine breathing into that space between the shoulder blades. Touching the knees down, sitting back on the heels. Slide the hands back behind you, take a breath in, lift up through the hips, looking forward or up towards the sky. And as you exhale, lowering all the way down, come on out into the hands and knees. Take your right leg out to the side, finding gate pose. Inhale that left arm all the way up and reaching over towards the right side. The hand might slide down the leg here, nice and light on that extended leg. Perhaps the torso wants to rotate so the heart faces upwards slightly. One more breath in brings you back up through center so that you can take the hands back down onto the ground. Walk them out a little bit here and perhaps add a twist. The left arm moves through, landing on the shoulder and the side of the head. Sending the hips back a little here, so keep engaging into that right little toe. You might like to wrap the right arm up and around behind you. Notice those points of contact and engage into the earth to receive this sense of buoyancy, uplift. As you bring both hands back down onto the mat. You could keep that right leg extended and take yourself into three-legged dog, right leg to the air. As you exhale, take a tiger curl, knee in towards the nose, round the spine. Inhale to lift up and back, and this time step the foot forward, bring the left knee down to the mat. On your inhale, lifting up through the arms, lifting the hips, draw the legs towards each other. Exhale, lowering all the way back down. Finding your three-legged dog, right leg again extends to the sky. Exhale, tiger curl. Inhale. Exhale, curling in. Lifting the right heel to the right buttock. Last one. Inhale, extend. Stepping all the way forward, finding high lunge, Anjaneyasana. Taking the arms up alongside the body. Let the shoulder blades slide down the back. Taking one more breath into the fingertips. As you exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. We're moving straight back into three-legged dog with this same right leg, lifting it up into the space behind you, but then go on and twist, open through the hip. Look under the right armpit. Exhale, bring the leg across like you're going to land in pigeon, but don't quite yet. Inhale, take the leg back, open through the hip. Exhale, floating that shin above the mat. Last time, inhale to open. As you exhale, briefly hover the shin before landing it down, sliding the left leg back behind you. Perhaps keep the back toes curled under. Stay a little active here through the front shin, pressing into the mat. Imagine this back leg wanting to draw forward, those legs scissoring towards each other at that point where they would meet. Hands might be on the floor, or you could take them up alongside you. Lifting up, engaging into the earth, feeling that sense of receiving, like a bubble rising, rising, rising. And then exhale to lower all the way down. Making a conscious choice now to switch off all effort, uncurl the back toes, support the head in any way you like. Let the belly be soft here. Finding ease through the breath. Like a gentle breeze on a warm summer's night. Relief and well received. The hands can make their way back under the shoulders and find your way into your three-legged dog for the final time. Right leg extends up. So you could move through a one-legged plank here if you wanted to come all the way down to the mat. Bending the right knee, place the left forearm out in front and reach back and take hold of the right foot. Extend the left toes away from you, and as you press into the left foot, left forearm, perhaps the right knee begins to lift up off the mat in your half bow. And then letting everything return to the floor. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, sitting the hips down over the heels. On your in-breath, find this camel version. And then exhale to lower all the way down. Go on and find your downward facing dog. Let the lips lightly touch as you feel the air moving in through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. And then you can find your way back down onto the knees, this time extending the left leg out to the side in your gate pose. So finding the left little toe pressing in line with the bent knee. On your inhale, lengthen through the right side of the body. Notice the quality of the breath here. So if the in or the out breath feels a little stretched, just go with that for a moment and then find a softness around the edges of the breath. And if that happens for you, maybe then you start to lift the center of the chest upwards some more and over to that right side. Smile into this stretch. Smile into that space. And then as you bring both hands down out in front, walk them out in a little bit further so you've got this space to twist. So right shoulder comes down. The hips are moving back here, so you're not sending too much weight into the neck or shoulders. Pressing into the back of the right hand, the right shoulder. Notice that breath making its way through the maze of the twisted body. Always finds a way. No restrictions here. So as you come all the way back through center, you can bring that left leg in and go on and find your three-legged dog with the left leg extended. You're breathing in here to find that length. On the exhale, curling in, knee to the nose. Inhale to lengthen. Tiger curl, exhale. Try and touch the heel to the left buttock. Breathing in, hips are lifting and spacious. Step the foot forward in between the hands. Coming down to the right knee. Breathing in, extend through the fingertips. Perhaps take the gaze up. And exhale, framing the front foot, finding your three-legged dog. Inhale, left leg. Curling in as you exhale. Breathing in, extend. On the exhale in this tiger curl, bring the shoulders over the wrists. Last time, extending up, finding your high lunge this time, Anjaneyasana. You're on the ball of the back foot. Perhaps having a little bend through the back knee, finding that right hip, tacking forward slightly. And as you exhale, framing the front foot, left leg lifts to the sky. We add a twist here. Look under the left armpit. Exhale, bring the shin forward to hover above the mat. Explore the possibilities. Inhale, open the hip. Where you may land soon, notice what that's going to be like for you. Sometimes our mind can block the many endless possibilities. So as you come forward this time, shin grounds down. Slide the right leg back, find the center of the knee. Engaging into the front shin, drawing the back leg forward, maybe taking the arms up. You could even just bring the hands here to prayer at the center of the chest. Rising up every breath. And then allowing that exhale like you've pulled the plug to sink everything away. Drain everything away. Let all of the effort dissolve. Tuning in a little more to the sound of your breath. Focusing on this silent mantra amongst perhaps many other sounds within the space around you right now. Let this be a reminder of where it is that you'd like to place your attention right now. Find our way into our three-legged dog for the final time through this sequence. Left legs extending to the sky. You may like to make this into a one-legged plank, shoulders over the wrist, before exhaling and lowering all the way down to the earth. The left knee bends, reach back and take hold. Right forearm's going to support you, as is the right extended leg. Maybe the left knee starts to lift as you open the chest forward. And then releasing the upper body, lower body, everything coming down to touch the third eye. Making your transition through hands and knees and finding your down dog and stillness, steadiness. the breath, with the body, and the mind will surely follow. From your downward facing dog, begin to take a walk forward, but bring the feet out wide to the edges of your mat. So as you turn your feet out, you're here in your malasana. You can lower down into your squat, hands on the floor, or you might bring the hands together and using the elbows to open through the knees. Drawing up through the pelvic floor, notice the length of the spine. Become aware of the feet. So if you're lifting the toes, just start to draw in those toes a little more to your mat. The balls of the feet, the heels, whole sole of the foot connecting, using those points of contact. You can then release the hands down and find your uttanasana, your forward fold. Just heel toe the feet in a little closer. Hip distance apart, have those knees off lock. Let the spine dangle, head heavy. Taking a breath in, go on and lift the chest halfway. The hands might be on the floor or to the shins. And as you exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, press into the feet. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, drawing the hands down to center. Circling the arms up and around as you breathe in. Diving forward as you exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, step the right leg back for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Left heel lines up with the back instep. Let's get into the habit of feeling into the hips. That right hip's moving to the front right corner of your mat. And here we can instead rotate the thoracic spine. Extending the arms, just checking the knee is in line with the ankle and that you can still see your toes. Turn the palms up and feel the chest naturally open. And then could this openness stay here as you turn the palms back down? Feeling the evenness through both feet, both legs. And strong through the legs as you turn the left palm up and find reverse warrior. Breathing in, tipping back here. The arm could come up and over, or you might like to place the hand at the back of the head. Extending up through that left elbow. Keep bending deliberately into the left knee. Remembering that any time the mind wanders or you get caught up in a story, you simply need to follow that breath. So as you straighten the leg, inhale and exhale into your Trikonasana. Left hand comes down, just to the point where you can still stay open through both sides of the body. So you might start a little higher. Ensure there's length through the underside before maybe reaching down. You don't need to reach down. Lifting just enough here to bend the left leg, taking the right arm across the body, turning the right armpit down as you reach to the right fingertips. And notice how as you engage in the left elbow to the left thigh, again there's this openness, this sense of expansion. And last breath in here. And then as you exhale, that top hand can come all the way down. Left leg reaches to the sky, opening through the hip. You could take that left foot behind you and find Wild Thing, keeping the right leg straight, extending the left arm up, or you might even place it on the heart. Flipping all the way back, finding your plank or half plank. Exhale, release to the earth. Finding one locust breath here. Exhale to release. Inhale, coming all the way through hands and knees, sitting back onto the heels. You could keep the hands on the floor here or lift up a little higher. Take the hands to the lower back. Extend the tailbone down towards the floor as you open the chest. And finding your down dog, lengthening the spine. Walk or step the feet forward to the outside of the hands. And finding your Bakasana. Adding a twist here if you wish, bringing the left hand to the middle of your stance. Right arm reaches up, a side bend I should say. Switching over, inhale. Releasing all the way back down, both hands or at least the fingertips on the earth. Lengthening the legs, finding your Uttanasana. Take a breath in to lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive. Rising up, reach to the fingertips, looking up, and exhale back down through center. Aligning the energies with your focus, with your breath. Inhale, looking up, diving forward, exhale. Inhale, lift halfway. Left leg steps back, Virabhadrasana 2. Take the time to build from the ground up, align the hips naturally, rotate through the chest, extending through the arms. Gazing over those front fingertips. Turn the palms up, let the shoulders open, roll back, let go. Whatever they've been carrying, turn the palms back down. Feel the extension from the shoulders to the fingertips, while at the same time this drawing in of energy, a star that gives light but receives to retain its brightness. We can be in that form of the star that's constantly shining for others. Feel that give back, that rebound back for yourself as you turn the right palm up, breathing in, reverse warrior, bending into the right knee. Maybe bringing the hand to the back of the head. Lead with the top elbow now. The breath wanting to seep into the right side of the body. As you straighten the right leg, take a breath in and extend all the way down in triangle pose. Just play with that height once more. Ensure that you can stay long through the right side before you reach down any further. Maybe taking the top arm up. It can be helpful just to look over the bottom shoulder. Noticing the alignment of your body, particularly if you can't see your reflection or you don't have a mirror. That's why I always like to feel where everything is. So get into this nice habit of feeling the body. And lifting up just enough here, creating that shelf into your extended side angle, reaching through the left fingertips. Feel that left armpit actually dropping down or facing down towards the earth. That there's this continual space through the right side of the body. And your next exhale, bringing the hand all the way down. Finding the front leg now up into the air in your three-legged dog. Perhaps finding your wild thing, lifting up through the hips, lifting up through the chest. And then flipping all the way back to find your connecting vinyasa or dog pose or child's pose. It might be locust, cobra, up dog or sphinx. Meeting and downward facing dog. And just checking in here with your dog pose. Finding some space that perhaps wasn't available to you a little while back. Once we get into the habit of grounding down through the hands and the feet, the uplift through the wrists, the ankles, take the time to explore the sometimes forgotten parts of the body. Feel the front ribs lifting up into the back. And as you prepare to bring the feet forward once more, walking or take a jump, take the feet wide, finding Malasana. And hopefully the hips are feeling nice and open and warm. Bring the hands out in front and just begin to lift up a little higher through the hips, the knees, and start this rocking feeling coming forward. So as the knees come to the triceps, you'll want to feel that resistance of the triceps and the knees. Ensure that the head and chest stay lifted and already starting to engage the core here. Keeping the gaze up slightly, you might start to lift onto the big toes and just playing with your Bakasana. The next time the heels are grounded, you can find your Uttanasana, so straightening the legs a little more, walking the feet back in hip distance apart. Feeling that length from the heels to the sit bones, along the back of the body, into the neck. And find the feet hip distance apart here. So as you begin to imagine you're sitting down into a seat, finding chair pose, extending the arms up alongside you. Of course, you could bring the hands into Namaste. Pressing into the feet, breathing in, rise tall. As you exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step the right leg back, Virabhadrasana 2, circling the arms up and over, parallel to the earth. Feel the chest open, the shoulders back. Turning the front palm up, breathing in, reverse warrior. Exhale, Trikonasana. Lifting as you breathe in, finding your extended side angle. Bringing the top arm across to the right hip, finding your Ardha Chandrasana, your half moon. You may also like to find a bind here like you've done with your half bow, reaching back, taking hold of the right foot. Extending the leg, bringing that right hand back to the hip, finding your wide leg goddess up high here, turning the toes out. Track the knees over the ankles. As you exhale, just notice that alignment of your body and that everything's happy, particularly the knees. Feeling the strength through the legs and continue to get that sense that all parts of the feet are working here. So the 10 toes are super helpful for you as well. You can turn those big toes in, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, open up. Maybe take a parting glance upward and exhale to fold. Breathing in, lift the chest halfway. Exhale, melting back down. You might like to take a bind around the big toe with the first finger and thumb. We'll reach the hands back into that space between the legs, finding what's in your practice in this moment today. And then you're finding a little bit of softness through the knees so you can walk back around to the front of your mat, finding your Uttanasana. Taking a breath in to lift the chest halfway. As you exhale, finding your warrior two with the left leg stepping back. Circling the arms up and around. Find those soft edges through the arms, like you've just run a dusting cloth over the surface, and once again there's that shimmer and shine as you turn the front palm up, breathing in, reverse warrior, bending into the front knee. One more breath in here, straightening the front leg, exhale, Trikonasana. Feels so good, right? Breathing in, lift just enough here. Circle the front arm across the body, extended side angle. Stay alive and curious in all parts of the body. Top hand can settle at the hip. Reach forward and back slightly to find your half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. You may like to bend the knee, reach back and take hold. Opening through that hip. And then as the hand returns to the left hip, extending the leg so you can step it nice and wide once more. Bringing the hands to the hips as you turn the big toes in, breathing in, hinging from the hips as you exhale and fold. Go on and walk the hands over to the left side, turning those toes out, bending the knee. As you breathe in, moving through center, exhale, turning the right toes out, bending through the right knee. And moving from one side to the other, exhaling, easing into the hips. Inhale to lift and float through the midline, exhale. And just making the movement yours here, playing with that shape. As you find your way back to the middle, we're going to soften the knees, walk around to frame the right foot, step the left foot forward. Here you are in Uttanasana once more, hugging the chest in towards the thighs. You might even wrap the arms around behind you. Imagine that breath rising up through the heels, the back of the legs, and then spilling over from the hips down into the shoulders, the head. Release the arms, widen the feet, turning the toes out, finding Malasana. A few options for you to play with so far. Otherwise, begin a little bend through the knuckles so you can press into the fingers. Lift up through the hips, bring the knees to the triceps, lift up the head. Maybe start just by playing with one foot lifting at a time, drawing in through the core. Might be just one foot at a time, and maybe even a blanket in front of you can be really helpful just to give you that sense of security, or a cushion. The ground's not too far away though, so it's no problem if you fall. Otherwise, lifting the feet up and drawing those feet up towards the buttocks. And when you're ready, you can release all the way down, sitting down, extending the legs out in front. And just finding that hip distance apart. You could even lean into the hands a little if you like, drawing the toes towards the shins. Letting the breath settle. Go on and relax the legs some more now. The toes soften, the ankles. Notice the calf muscles and the back of the thighs melting into the floor. Feel both sit bones connected as you soften the buttocks. Release the shoulders down the back of the body. Finding your way into a comfortable stillness. Comfortable breath. And both legs extended. Go on and fold the left leg in. Still tilting forward slightly to the front of the sit bones. Once again, drawing the toes back towards you. Take the hands to the heart. Take a breath in and lengthen through to the crown. And as you exhale, reaching out forward and past the foot. Aiming past the foot, breathing in. Close down the eyes. It really doesn't matter how far forward you're reaching. But rather than rounding the spine, get a sense that you're hinging and folding neatly from the hips. So the chest down towards the thigh, rather than the knee and the nose meeting. Next time you reach forward, land those hands down wherever they arrive. You might like to cross them at the wrist as you hold the leg or foot. Imagine the shoulder blades sliding away from the spine and the breath being received behind the heart center. As you soften that bind and find your way back up, place that left foot on the inside of the right leg or over. Find the sit bones connected, wrapping the right arm around behind you and spin the left hand behind onto the floor. And with every inhalation, imagine that spine is finding more space between each vertebrae so that you naturally sense this twisting from the lower ribs, then the center of the chest, then the shoulders. And the neck remains safe as the chin tucks into the collarbone. And as you soften, release the head and shoulders all the way back through. Left leg's going to be either on top in your log of fire, or sometimes called double pigeon. And if that's not your practice today, just have that left leg in front. Otherwise, the shins can be stacked on top of each other and away from the body so that when you look down, there's this upside down triangle. You could always pad up a little here with a blanket too if you like. And then simply settle the sit bones down, relax the inner and outer thighs. If you're wanting a little bit more here, you could always take some weight forward. The spine could round here if you're bringing yourself into a fold. And focusing a little more now on those out breaths, just counting 3 more exhalations. Lifting yourself up and out so that left leg now is extending, right leg folds in, the center of the knee is upward, drawing the toes back towards you and already starting to feel the chest wanting to move its way over towards that left knee. Hands settle at the heart as you breathe in, lengthen to the crown. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rising up. No particular place you need to be. Wherever you arrive, wholeheartedly, is just perfect. There is always something new to discover, even if you feel like you've been there before. Let the hands settle down onto the earth, or maybe crossing at the wrists on the leg. And the movement appears to have ceased from the body, but I'm sure you can still sense that breath wanting to create more and more length and space through the spine. And that exhale allows the body to sigh and let go of anything that might be holding you back. And as you come up, that right foot now could either stay on the inside or over. Just find which is most stable for you. And then wrapping the left arm around behind, draw those toes back on the left foot. So wherever you are, get comfortable there. But then notice that even if you just use your imagination, that there's a sense of space, room to breathe, openness deep within. Imagine this in your mind. Imagine this throughout your body. And then simply fill in those gaps. Let that thought become your reality. As you bring yourself out of the twist, the right leg now is either just going to be in front in your cross-legged, or it may lift on up here and you could stack the shins. Move a bit of flesh and find the front of the sit bones. If you're taking it a little deeper, if that's there for you, you could fold forward, support the head. You might even be on a bolster. But of course, if you're receiving enough sitting upright, you've got the breath, working on that ease and space. It's only when that changes for you, when you feel that the breath has settled, should that be an invitation from your body to find more depth. Being in a hurry and skipping over these very important learnings is not really doing you any good. These learnings, these practices that we discover through our physical practice are ones that we can take with us, of course, through all of our life. Can we find contentment with where we are? Can we let go of the striving of where we think we need to be? And begin to lift on up and stretch those legs out before lowering all the way down on your back. And then as you bend the knees, lift up the hips and bring the hands underneath the bottom so the palms are facing down. Bring the knees in towards you and then extend the legs up. But you'll feel the weight in your hips. So the legs are probably on a slight angle away from your body. And in this way, the hands support the hips so that the legs can be elevated. This gentle stretch through the hamstrings, all hopefully quite effortless. The knees can then bend, draw them into the chest, lift the hips to release the hands, bring the feet down and connect the soles of the feet as you find your Supta Bakasana, your reclined butterfly pose. Allow gravity to draw the knees down slowly. Feel into this openness through the inner line of the legs. Consciously relax the pelvic floor. Relax the abdomen. Relax the chest. And you might use your hands to guide the knees back towards each other. Take the feet hip distance apart, bringing the hands alongside the body, finding your way into bridge pose. Or if bow pose is in your practice today, you could find a deeper back bend. Pressing into the toes, the balls, the heels of the feet, the hands, the shoulders, the back of the head. And staying for just 2 more breaths if you're there and able to. Let that next exhalation lower the spine slowly from top to bottom, full control of the body. Before releasing one leg at a time to the far corners of the mat, turning the feet out, turning the palms up, turning the eyes down, allowing the feet to soften, and imagining the space within your feet. Allowing the legs to soften. Imagine the space within the legs like hollow tubes. Allow the hands to soften. Imagine space within the hands. Allow the arms to soften. Feel the space within the arms. Release any subtle tightness or gripping within the body, the buttocks, the shoulders, the lower back, chest, belly. Feel the space within your whole body. Imagine the space within. Sense the movement of the breath within the free space. Sense the space between the movement of the breaths. Sense the space in and all around. Allow for space. Allow space. And as you take in the experience of all that is around you, without moving, without opening the eyes, sense all of the space around you. Feel the energy of the space around you, the temperature, sensations on your skin, on or under or around your body. Appreciate any sounds you can hear within this moment. Notice them as life in action. The world turning, everything happening just as it needs to. And you rest as the silent witness, without judgment, without stories. Knowing that soon you can re-enter this day in any way that you choose to. When that time is for you, please do so mindfully, with care and gratitude for this amazing body, incredible mind, beating heart, and the day that's been gifted to you once again. Many blessings to you. Namaste.